Welcome back to the garden. So I'm going to try to make this update video for Sunday, July 21st, 2024, a little bit shorter than some of my other updates. Well, hopefully I do. If you follow my channel, you might have noticed I've been releasing a bunch of shorts showing me harvesting some of the different vegetables I'm growing for the first time, like picking the first fill in the blank of the season, right? And I've been trying to do some shorts instead of doing these 10-minute or longer garden videos. But anyhow, here's the update for today. So I'm starting off here at one of the raspberry plants. You can see there's a honeybee right there doing bee things, pollinating. Hey, there's the thumbnail, I think. There we go. So the raspberry plant started making fruit. I picked 2 berries off of them, and then they just stopped. But it looks like they're starting again, so I figured this would be a good starting point for the video. You can see the honeybee down there, the mint plant. They really like these mint plants. Here's another one. They be pollinating. So next I'll move on to one of the Fresno pepper plants. I'm not going to go over every plant in this video. You can see I've got a small red pepper there and a decent sized red pepper here, so I'll go ahead and pick that. The purple bell pepper plant over here has got 2 small, kind of misshapen purple bell peppers on it. Not big enough to pick, but on the other hand, that one kind of looks like something chewed into it. So yeah, this one might be a complete and total loss. I've tried insecticide soap. It's worked in the past, but yeah, I don't know that we can salvage anything off this. Maybe a little bit off of one side. We'll have to cut it open and see. Moving on to another Fresno pepper plant. You can see a small green pepper there. Need to route that through. And nothing really going on with this one. And the Big Bertha Bell over here has got a small pepper here that's growing low into the ground, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick it now before it rots. Yeah, not as big as what it could be, but you can see there's a pepper there, and there's some buds here at the top, so hopefully this makes another really big pepper, but this will do for now. And then on to the next Fresno pepper plant. I've got 3 red peppers here, one of which is big enough to pick. So if I can move the camera on the other side of this leaf, go ahead and, nope, leaf just keeps getting in the shot. So, you know what, maybe I'll take a picture here, maybe use that as a thumbnail. So it's either that or a bee, I don't know. But the plant is healthy, and I've already gotten a few red peppers, or Fresno peppers this year, so I'm pretty happy with that. Moving on to this giant Marconi bell pepper plant that's got a green onion growing in front of it. It's got 3 peppers on it. 2 of them are really decent size, but they haven't turned red yet. They're still green. I think I might need to trim back some of these mint plants that are around it. I'll do that after I'm done filming the video. And over here, I've got the really big hoop that I'm using to try to give some infrastructure here for these tomato plants that just came up at this end of the garden to grow through. So they're doing pretty good. They're healthy, but other than a little yellow flower there, I'm not seeing any tomatoes yet. And here are what I think are the candy cane or the Cajun bell peppers. They're coming up pretty strong. Obviously too small to make any fruit, and they're all just crowded together. I really need to separate a few of these, but you can see all these holes chewed in the leaves. Something's chewing them up, so I'll try some more insecticide soap, and maybe I'll transplant a few of these. Moving on to the other side of the fence, you can see these, what I believe are Thai hot pepper plants, are coming up. Something has been chewing on them though, so But I still would like to take a few of these out and transplant them. I just haven't. And you can see the one that I bought, it's got all kinds of little white flowers on it, little yellow flowers. But I don't see, oh, look, right here, little green peppers. So maybe in a couple weeks, I'll have some Thai hot peppers. So the sun sugar cherry tomato plant has been a little strange. It's growing more up and out than really down. I've had to take off some of the dead stems off of it. I just threw them in the garden as compost. I've harvested a bunch of tomatoes. Here, I'll pull one off. That one's the right color. But what I noticed was that on Friday, I picked a bunch this color, but I left some other ones that were yellow that just weren't quite this yellow-orange yet. When I came out Saturday morning, they were missing. And it doesn't look like something's been chewing on this. So did somebody come into my backyard and take some yellow tomatoes? I don't know. It's just kind of bizarre. But it's making these little cherry tomatoes, or these sun sugar hybrid cherry tomatoes, and they're pretty good. But I don't know how much longer this plant is going to hold out. I mean, it's healthy on the top, but down there at the bottom, it's just not doing so well. There's lots of little green tomatoes on here, so hopefully I get more off of it. But this is really the only tomato plant that's been producing anything that we can eat yet. The 3 jalapeno plants I've got have made some peppers that are just right for harvesting, just the right size and whatnot. So it's a jalapeno that's not hot. That's all it is. You see there's 2 more over there. I'm going to let the one there on the right that has an ant on it, get off there, try to get a little bit bigger. And the plant back there, I've harvested a few off of, but I'm going to see if I can let those get a little bit bigger. The 2 Fresno pepper plants over here, they've got whatever was chewing on them return. It's chewed on some of the leaves, but they're making peppers. You can see there's green peppers on them. Look at the size of this one. It's starting to turn. So I'm hoping, I think I've only harvested 1 off of either one of these plants so far, but I'm hoping to get a few peppers off of them this season. They're out in direct sunlight, so it kind of helps. And then I harvested my first cowhorn pepper yesterday. There's a whole bunch of them, but they're all green. And this purple bell pepper plant has a little bud on it, but I don't know if I'm going to get another bell pepper off of it. Not a lot going on with the mammoth jalapeno pepper plant, other than some cilantro growing up through the hoop. The grape tomato plant has a lot of green tomatoes on it. Here's one that's starting to turn colors, but it's still not red enough to pick. I mean, it's got a lot of tomatoes on it, and it's so heavy that it's leaning over. The PVC pipe that I jammed in the ground to support the hoop is, well, everything's just leaning over, and it's growing into the fence. So hopefully if this gets enough sunlight, I'll have a whole bunch of tomatoes to harvest off of it. But for right now, everything is just green. The purple bell pepper plant in the back corner here has yielded 1 or 2 peppers. It's gotten really tall, but it doesn't look like it's doing anything else, so it may have fizzled out too. I don't know. I've had to cut back the mint plants that are growing around it, and eventually I'll rip up this south thistle plant and feed it to our uromastics, and that'll be out of the way. But for right now, it does look like it's getting sunlight, and I mean, it's getting taller. And then the 2 tomato plants that I transplanted over here, you can see this smaller one on the left has some small green tomatoes on it and little yellow flowers on the top. The other one is taller, got some yellow flowers, and yeah, there's a couple of small green tomatoes right there. So they're actually doing a lot better, a lot faster than I thought. I had to pull another hoop out of what I've got left, which are mostly just the larger hoops, this morning, and put it around the second tomato plant here that's growing up through the red and yellow onions. I put this hoop in a few weeks ago, but this other plant just wasn't tall enough to get a hoop, but now it definitely is. The problem is the onions want to grow up through there, so they can fight it out, and whoever makes something we can eat will win. Sweet banana peppers. More sweet banana peppers than I thought I would get. And I just picked one. Let's pick another. I mean, there's a ton on here. The ones down at the bottom are even bigger. A lot of sweet banana peppers. You see this one down here by the bottom of the other plant. It's growing right into the dirt, so better pick it before it rots. And this one kind of curled up. Got another sweet banana pepper plant in the back. I'm going to pick one off of that. These have definitely done better than I thought, better than any other time that I've tried to grow banana peppers. Really happy with that. The cubanelles over here are starting to turn from kind of a greenish yellow to a purple color. So I'm hoping, oh, this one here. This one is green, yellow, and orange. So I'm hoping that in another week or so, they'll have turned as close to red as I'm going to get them, and then I can harvest them. And you can see here's some tomatoes, some green tomatoes at the bottom of the grape tomato plant. Two of them are starting to turn kind of orange, but for the most part, like the other tomato plants, it's all green. Lots of tomatoes. And the plant going crazy, growing through whatever it wants. But it's nothing but green tomatoes. Jalapeno plant. Got a couple peppers on it that are they're ready to pick. And here is the only pole bean that has made it all the way up the lattice. I don't know how. There's another one behind it, or further back, that is starting to go up the lattice, but I may get a few beans this year, but I'm just not going to count on a lot. The Orange Bite snacking peppers have finally turned orange. I think I'm going to harvest a few. There's greener ones at the top. It's hard to film around these leaves. There's two orange ones. Well, that one's got a little green on it, but I don't care. On the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and harvest these today. The red bell, yellow bell, and orange bell peppers all have a green bell pepper on them. You can see, look at the size of that. Well, you can't see it too well. That's a problem. Everything's getting blocked by all the leaves when I'm trying to film this, but there's a big green pepper there. It just hasn't turned colors. Over there is a big green pepper on the yellow bell pepper plant. And it looks like a couple buds at the top, but they're just not getting enough sunlight. Part of the reason is all these damn tomatoes. I had to put another hoop back here. I grabbed one of the blue ones and I routed this tomato. It's growing sideways like a vine. I had to route it up through here. The tomato plants are just taking over here in the center. You see there's a green tomato, but really they're still not ready for me to harvest. However, at the bottom of the Better Boy tomato plant that is growing in the corner, there are two tomatoes that are getting there. I'm going to go ahead and pick one right now. Yeah, this one could be cut up a little bit and used, but it looks like it's a little smashed up on one end. I don't know if it's bumping against the hoop or what, but it's about as red as I'm going to get right now. You can see the other one back there. It's starting to turn red, but they're all green. So these tomato plants need more sunlight. The tomatoes hopefully hopefully are ready to harvest in a few weeks, and they look better than this one, but I guess this would be the first of the season. The Cubanelle down here has got peppers on it, but can't see for all the leaves. The strawberry plants are trying to take over. They're not even turning colors. And this lemon boy, which is a yellow better boy, does have some tomatoes in here. You can see there's one, but it's green. The stuff down towards the bottom, still green. Nothing on this is turning yellow, but it's growing like crazy. It's actually growing through the lattice. So there's the garden update for this week. I've got the hot peppers in the small bowl and the mild peppers and the tomatoes in the large bowl. And with a harvest like this every week, I would say that the garden isn't paying for itself, but it's definitely rewarding. So I'll keep doing updates and maybe a few more shorts for the rest of the season, and hopefully I've got something new to harvest or maybe some progress on the tomatoes to report next time. Thanks for watching.